Hello, everybody, and welcome one, welcome all. It's time for the show with no name on Vaughan Radio, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here to rock your socks off. Now, the real expression is to knock your socks off, right? To astound you, to dazzle you, to amaze you, and of course, teach you English, right? So we are here to knock your socks off, but you know me, I like rock and roll. In fact, no, I don't like rock and roll. I love rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll. So we're not here to knock your socks off. Well, we'll do that too. But we're really here to rock your socks off. Y ya empezamos con una expresión, right? To knock somebody's socks off. To dazzle someone. I love this word. Me encantan las palabras con Z. No sé, crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just lazy, perezoso. But I love these kind of words. All right, guys. So, welcome. It is Monday. We're going to dazzle you. In fact, if you guys listen to my podcast, my new podcast, FYI, then you'll know the word dazzle because we looked at it this week. And if you haven't listened to the podcast, well, wherever you listen to podcasts, go over there. Many of you listen to Vaughan Radio, well, the same places, iVox, iTunes, Spotify, and look for or search for FYI, F-Y-I, que es un juego de palabras, for your info, for your information, but in this case, it's also for your inglés. It's my new podcast. I'm very happy with it. I'm very proud of it. And the fact that you guys are enjoying it, that was the missing, that was what I needed, because I can be happy with it, but if you guys don't like it, then what the heck am I doing? You know, I'm wasting my time. So thank you so much for subscribing to the podcast. As you guys know, it's free. There is a bonus part, but there's a free weekly podcast where I teach you about different topics, okay? And last week we went to Broadway. You can find it on iTunes, iVox. Those are the same places, by the way, that you can download fresh episodes every day of this show, The Show with No Name. Just search for Show with No Name or Vaughan Radio on iVox or iTunes or any of the platforms, and you'll be able to find this show. You'll be able to find Fitz's show, No Excuses, and you'll also be able to find Richard's show. In fact, when I look at my podcast, sometimes it recommends Richard's, and I'm like, oh, wow, how cool. You know, Richard and I are being recommended, not because we're on the same channel. Obviously, we're both recommended through Vaughan, but on separate channels, like, hey, this is a great podcast, and so is this one. And it's a pleasure to be mentioned with the likes of, ¿cómo decís esto? I'm going to put you guys to the test now in Spanish, right? With the likes of, con los mismos, ¿no? Would be maybe how you say that in Spanish. So guys, I got to make sure you're on your toes. Toes son dedos de los pies. I got to make sure you're on your toes. So who wants to help me? The likes of. Now, of course, I could stop being lazy, right? And I can just look it up, right? The likes of. ¿Ves? Es que me ayuda. Yo solo tuve que poner the likes of. Gente como. So it's a pleasure, te lo uso otra vez en contexto, it's a pleasure to be with the likes, recommended with the likes of the master, Richard Vaughan. And remember, guys, Richard Vaughan is on every single morning, well, I think Monday through Friday. So weekdays at, I think 7:30, is it, folks? 7:30 a.m. on Channel 2. This is Televisión Española in Spain, Channel 2. And he is literally going through, repasando, no, from start to finish, the student manual. Now, guys, I cannot stress how important the student manual is in the Vaughan method. It is the teacher's go-to guide. It is the teacher's Bible, in essence. So, to have Richard Vaughan, the creator, the guy who built this thing, go through his material with you is, as we say in English, a godsend. ¿Conocéis esta palabra? A godsend. I always think of it como agua de mayo, ¿no? Regalo del cielo. Bendición, don del cielo. It's something that is very welcomed, right? It's very appreciated. So, and as I said, that's free. Usually you have to take classes with us, which you can do too. We have our online courses, we have our video courses as well, but you can also join Mr. Richard Vaughan every morning. All right, so J.M. Hermosilla says a godsend. No, J.M. Hermosilla is one word, a godsend. No, literalmente mandado de Dios, a godsend. All right, I see so many people checking in. Luis, born to Iron Man, David, Pedro, and so many eager students. Apúntate esta palabra. Ya hemos visto, hey guys, I don't know who's got the tally, la cuenta, otra palabra, Tally. How many words have we learned so far? We've been here for 6 minutes. How many freaking words have we learned so far? I think at least 5 or 10, right? At least, I would say, right? A godsend. A lot of you guys are putting T. It's with a D. It's a godsend, right? So I see you are all eager to learn. You're excited. You came to the right place, Vaughan Radio, where we're teaching you all throughout the day. Remember to subscribe to our other channels. I know many of you are on Instagram, obviously, the ones who are joining us live. Hello, Instagram. It's a pleasure to have you guys here live every day. If you guys who are listening to the podcast or to the radio right now, the audio version of this, excellent. But just so you know, FYI, for your information, you can watch this show daily on Vaughan's Instagram, okay? And that is Grupo_Vaughan. So that's a reason to follow Vaughan on Instagram, also on Twitter and on YouTube, where they have, I think, just such an abundance of content. All right, guys? So I tell you about this. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I tell you guys this stuff just because I want to make sure you're, accessing it all. And I want to make sure you're making the most of all these free resources that are at your fingertips, a tu alcance. All right? And as I said, if you're interested in any material, I know, in fact, my friend Ruben, who runs the Vaughan Tienda, he said that material sales are doing really well. So that's great. That's great news that people are saying, okay, maybe I can't take face-to-face classes right now, but he said people are buying, the translation lists. People are buying the student manual to do it along with Richard. People are buying my books. So, I mean, this is this is fantastic stuff, It shows that what you guys and people like you are doing during this difficult time that we've all been going through together, choosing to find the silver lining. The silver lining is ese no hay mal que por bien no venga. Every cloud has a silver lining. And you got to look for it sometimes. And so many people I know, including many of you who are listening or watching right now, have taken this dark storm, this, foggy. I say foggy because nobody can see anything, and we're starting to see a little bit now. And you made the most of it. And you decided to take your English to the next level. You decided to, do other things that you wanted to do. All things to enrich yourself, to get in shape, right? Ponerte en forma, something that I decided to do during this. I decided to start a new podcast during this, right? Something I had been wanting to do for a long time, and well, it's a lot of work. I don't know if you guys know, but producing a podcast and video and content, it's a lot of work because I produce the whole thing from the script to the, posting it and everything. And one day I'm going to do a special video just to show you guys what goes into creating one episode of FYI. And I'll do another one with Show with No Name. Would you guys be interested in that? In some behind the scenes of how the show gets made, how I put it together, this one and the other one, because they're completely different processes. In this show, I only do some of the production, especially now, because now Nacho's far away from me, But I think, just to show you guys the process and how it's not just okay, great, we got a new episode. But it takes a lot of thought and even deciding, and I'll show you that process, the brainstorming and deciding what's going to be my next episode. What am I going to talk about today on Show with No Name, and why. And as somebody who studied acting, interpretación, I'm always looking to justify things. I'm always looking for the motivation. It's part of it's the way I was taught to look at the world. It's the way I was taught to look at situations, as an actor, and even my parents even taught me something about that as well when I was younger. So guys, good job. Kudos to all of you who have really taken this bad situation and made it a positive situation, right? And it's not easy. It's not easy. I know that because, as I said, we were all in this together, right? We are all in this together. Esta es buena expresión, apúntatela. We're all in this together. Estamos todos juntos aquí, Nobody, whatever's going on, we've got to fight it. We've got to, face it, enfrentarlo together. Together. All right, my amigos. So, you know what else we have to do together? We have to lift off. Tenemos que despegar. Now, you're saying, Alberto, but isn't take off despegar? Yes. If we're referring to a plane, right, an airplane, that's takeoff. But when we talk about rockets, like Elon Musk stuff, SpaceX, we talk about liftoff, o una que me gusta más, que es blast off. Yeah, it's a very clear one, isn't it? All right, so are you guys ready? Because I'm ready to blast off. Yes, permission?
T-minus 10.
Thank you.
9.
Permission
8,
granted.
7.
Tardaron un
6,
poco.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughan Radio. It's the show with no name. On Vaughan Radio. It's the show. Let's go.
All right, folks, we are officially airborne. We are flying through the air, flying high, and who knows where we're going to go today on this amazing journey. Now, remember, this is a false friend. The word journey, I know in Spanish you say jornada. We say a work day, si hablamos de jornada. A jornada is a day, right? Una jornada en el parque de atracciones, a day, right? A journey is a very poetic way to say a trip, right? Un viaje. But a journey is like an adventure, right? And that's what I think English should be. Yeah, it should be a trip, un viaje. But don't you think, again, our choice of words is very important. If we call it a journey or an adventure, that it's like now, it feels like, wow, this is fun. Who doesn't want to go on a journey? Who doesn't want to go on an adventure of discovery, right? Where you discover new things. That's why I applaud you guys. You're going on adventures every day, learning not only new language, which is English in this case, but learning about different cultures, learning about England, the United States, and, well, whatever my friend Fitz teaches you a lot about Ireland. Why? We talk about what we know. No, I don't mean Vaughan presenters. I mean the whole world. If you don't know about football, soccer in the United States, you don't talk about it, right? Just to not, look like you don't know what you're talking about. So we tend to talk about things that we know. Now, here on the show, as you guys know, since it's a variety show, quiero que todos pronunciemos esta palabra, por favor. Since it's a variety show, variedad, variety. You say magazine también. Well, we deal with a lot of different things. So we're never going to talk about soccer for a whole episode, even though La Liga's back. Right? But, bueno, la liga, importante saber decir esto, porque si sabes decir esto, sabes pronunciar colleague. Porque muchos me han dicho, my college, y lo entiendo porque ves una G. Pero si sabes decir la liga, my colleague watches la liga. Quitamos la A, evidentemente. So, my colleague, y nunca se te olvide que no es college ni... porque si dices college, estás diciendo universidad. So, you know, have these little tricks, guys. These tricks will help you remember things for decades. Like you, even if, as I always say, if you get into a, you know, some kind of, God forbid, que no pase, right? God forbid, you get into a car accident or something and you'll remember this stuff. You know, for some reason, it just sticks. You know. Okay, so guys, we've got a lot to do. It's Monday, but we don't care what day of the week it is. We come to do the same thing every day, which is to embark, emprender, I think you say in Spanish, to embark on our English adventure. And well, our first stop today in this crazy galaxy is a section where we listen to famous people speaking, and you guys have to tell me what's being said, and also if you can guess who it is. The section's called Say What?
Say what?
That's right, my adventurous amigos. Claro, no nos quedamos solo con la palabra adventure, pero ya vamos con el adjetivo adventurous. In fact, listen. Hear my daughter? She's quite adventurous, I should say, and she's only 9 months old. And she's already an adventurer, sustantivo. She loves adventure. She loves to venture out into the world. ¿Ves cómo hemos cogido la palabra adventure y hemos sacado 5? That's what I'm saying you should do. Okay? Like, just no te quedes solo con adventure, pero la curiosidad, your curiosity should say, it's an adventure, right? I'm going to venture out. To venture out is un poco ir a la aventura, right? Because I'm an adventurous person. I'm always looking for new adventures, plural. So until you feel like you kind of got the word, you know. All right, so my amigos, this is the Say What soundbite. As always, I play a soundbite, an audio clip for you, and I want you guys to tell us what is being said. You're going to have 4 chances, 4 oportunidades, and this is the first one. So guys, grab your pens. Now, if you have a Vaughan pen, lucky you. If you don't have a Vaughan pen, as I said, next time you see me, the book fair, whenever it is, if we have an event, I don't know when that is yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all. The first person to ask me if I have a Vaughan pen, well, I'll give it to you. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have one with me. But I don't know. I'll buy you a beer. No. But I do carry, if it depends. If I have my merce, do you guys know what a merce is? Merce is a mix of 2 words, a portmanteau. And this is man and purse, merce, right? Un bolso, el que lleva a los hombres, right? So in the States, they're starting to get popular now, but they were called a European handbag or something like this. In fact, those of you who are familiar with the show, the very popular show, the hit show Seinfeld, there's an episode where it deals with that. He's like, it's not a purse. No, es un bolso. And I finally succumbed. Do you know this word? to succumb. Toma palabrón aquí. To succumb, S-U-C-C-U-M-B. Doble C, con B muda. Succumb. Sucumbir a, ceder. To succumb to es lo que va después. To succumb to. Let's see. Anix really quickly says, talking about Lara, I should say the apple, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You got it. She wakes up at like 6:30. I should say, wake up at 6:30, and the party starts. She literally is like, wow! I'm not exaggerating. And, well, I'm not going to sit there and be quiet. I'm like, all right, you want to party? Let's party! And you can just imagine, by 9 a.m., my wife, she's like, what's wrong with you? The party starts early around here. J.M. Hermosilla says, you're switching it out. Si te refieres a hacer un poco, cambiar las cosas, es switch it up. Creo que te refieres a eso, right? Paco Caramé says, at the crack of dawn. Yes, I wake up at the crack of dawn, como se dice, al amanecer, a primera hora. But as I told you guys, kind of like my grandfather, I don't have an alarm clock. I have one in my phone, I just don't use it. Because now I'm on that, your body's on a natural clock. And really, if you want to know my natural clock, just look at the sun. So when the sun goes down, I start getting tired. And when the sun comes up, my body starts saying, okay, let's go. And my daughter, evidently, as well. Maybe if my daughter didn't have that feeling, I wouldn't either. But who knows? That's a different reality, right? Okay, well, guys, here it is. Today's Say What soundbite for the first time. Guys, write down what you hear. Also, I'd like to hear your observations after the first listen. Okay, here we go.
Chandler, if you thought I was going to get you porn for Valentine's Day, you were right. Apparently, it's about a young girl who moves to the big city, in search of stardom, but ends up having sex with a lot of guys. Yeah, I got 4 stars. Oh, wait a minute. Those aren't stars.
Okay, what did you get from that, folks? I don't expect anyone to get it after the first listen completely, but what did you get from that? Did you get that it was a serious thing, comedy? Do these people sound like they're from the United States? If so, what part of the United States? Right, these are all questions that I want you to ask yourself, right? Let's see. Claudia says, friends. Okay, pero queremos frases completas, right? So, así estamos practicando inglés, no solo apuntar series. Javi, there's a full sentence, Javi. That's what I'm talking about. He says, it's Monica from Friends talking to Chandler. You seem to be pretty sure. Eugenia again says, friends. Muy bien. Artsa Vuriel says, she's a comedian. So you've determined it's a she, okay. Vargas says a sitcom, situational comedy. I can see why. Sounds like there's a laugh track. What is a laugh track? Estas pistas de audio. A laugh track. No, pistas de risa, right? Paco says, is it Friends? I'm not going to tell you. Marta says, Valentine's Day? Okay, yeah, I heard something about that. J.M. Hermosilla says, a girl talking about Ballantine's whiskey. Oh, interesante. So, some people heard Valentine's, and some people heard Ballantines. Oh boy, this is getting interesting. Paco, a very common mistake. Apuntad, Paco y todos. Their voices ring me a bell. Está mal escrito. Their voices ring a bell. Y sé por qué. Porque en español dices, me suenan. Pues quítate el reflexivo en inglés. It rings a bell. Not it rings me a bell. Not it rings a bell to me. He visto este error 5,000 veces. Más. More. Because I've had more than 5,000 classes and I've seen it. And I've had 5,000 students sometimes in one summer. Seriously. So, All right, guys? Valentine's, I see some other people, Valentine's. A lot of people know that it's a comedy. Some are saying Friends, Monica, Silvia, as well as J.M. Hermosilla heard Ballantine's Whiskey. Well, hey, I don't know. We're going to hear it momentarily because I can't believe it, but we have to go to our first commotion. Yeah. Did you understand what I said? See? No hay que ni usar inglés. We're going to go to our first commercial break in just a moment. But guys, these are great observations. And when we come back, we'll at least be able to figure out if they're saying Valentine's or Ballantines. But either way, anybody here feel like having a shot of whiskey? No sé por qué, me apetece un whiskey. Yeah, for some reason, for some odd reason. Alguna razón rara. All right, guys, we're going to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 or 4 minutes with tons more. So, stick around.